ओके, तो ये दो क्वेश्चंस थे जो कल ग्राफ्स और चार्ट्स वाले टॉपिक से हमने करने थे. ओके, या कैन यू सी माय स्क्रीन?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the first question. Let's use a better color. Yeah. So the question is, Michael swam 2000 yards on each of 18 days. The scatter plot above shows his swim time for and corresponding heart rate after each swim. Okay. The line of best fit for the data is also shown. So the dots are the scatter plot and the line is the best fit line. Okay. For the swim that took 34 minutes. Okay, now this is the part we need to focus at. Michael's actual heart rate was about how many beats per minute less than the rate predicted by the line of best fit. Okay. So the statement is just confusing. The question is actually very easy. You just need to focus on the question part. Okay, just ignore this thing and just read the question part and then go on to the data if you are not being able to understand through this only. Okay, because in SATs the main focus should be on time management, right? So you should know these tips. So these paragraphs are usually just given to waste your time. If even if I cross it out and I start reading from here, I would be able to solve the question and know the answer, right? So the question is, for the swim that took 34 minutes. Okay, so this is the swimming time minutes, and this is our focus area. Michael's actual heart rate was about how many beats per minute less than the rate predicted by the line of best fit. Okay, so this is what the line of best fit predicted. So it is 150 beats per minute. And this is what Michael
140.
had. So this is 140,
148.
148. Very good. So the answer would be
2.
excellent. Okay. This is the second question. Based on the histogram above of the following, which is closest to the average, that is the mean, we have discussed this as well. Number of seeds per apple. Okay. We need to just tell that which of these is closest to the average number of seeds per apple. Okay, so this is our histogram. Number of seeds, number of apples. Okay, so if I tell you, let's talk about the histogram first. So 2 apples के अंदर 3 number of seeds हैं और 4 apples के अंदर 5 number of seeds हैं. ठीक है, this is how you read a histogram. Then 1 apple has 6 number of seeds, 2 apples have 7 number of seeds. ठीक है, this is how you read it. अब एवरेज फाइंड करना है. ठीक है, तो एवरेज कैसे फाइंड करते हैं हम? टोटल नंबर ऑफ सीड्स डिवाइडेड बाय द नंबर ऑफ एप्पल्स, राइट? तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ सीड्स हम कैसे फाइंड करेंगे ईशन? 3.
We'll
Yeah,
add all of
yeah, we'll add all of these, or how?
um 3 multiplied by the number of apples. So
Very
3
good.
multiplied by 2 plus
And
5 into 4.
very good. Plus 6 plus 14 plus 27 divided by
The total number of apples.
that is
5.
no, that it's 12. So they are saying that 2 apples have 3 number of seeds, then 4 have 5. Okay, so if you calculate or sum up the number of apples even this way, 2, then 4, then 1, then 3, so that would be 12. It's given. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be something 6.08, and this is what they said, which is closest to the average. So C would be the answer, right? I hope it's clear. Is it clear? Okay, perfect. Now I'll share the book. Okay, so we are going to talk about the second section, that's algebra, and I need to use a better color. Okay, right. Okay, so you are already familiar with these things, but we need to, quickly review every topic, right? So it says rules for working with equations. The equal sign separates an equation into two sides. We know that. Whenever we have an equation, let's say 2x squared plus y equals 3. For example, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So this is what it says, right? Equal side separates equation into two sides. Whenever an operation is performed on one side, the same operation must be performed on the other side. Obviously, if I have, let's consider this again as an example. If I want to multiply 4 here, so I would be multiplying it on both sides to have to satisfy this equality condition, right? To create a balance between both sides. If I'm multiplying something over here, I'll be multiplying it there as well. You get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To solve an equation, first move all the variables to one side and all the numbers to the other side. Then simplify until only one variable with the coefficient of 1 remains on one side and one number remains on the other side. Okay. So let's consider this again. We have 2x squared plus y equals to 3. Let's say I want to find y, for example. So I'll be taking this to that side. So obviously it's being added here. So it would be subtracted on this side. So the coefficient of y is 1. And this is what they are saying. This is how you need to separate a variable on one side and take all the other variables and numbers on the other side. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we have an example. 7x minus 11 equals 29 minus 3x. Okay. Move the variables to one side. Okay, now we need to move the variables on one side. So I'll take this 3x to this side and I'll take 11 to that side. It's being subtracted here. It would be added to the left side. We have 11, it's being subtracted. It would be added, right? This is how you do. And finally, we were left with 10x equals 40. Now 10 is being multiplied with x. It would be divided by 40. So the x is 4, right? This is how you do it. Let's talk about this question. If 13x minus 28 equals 22 minus 12x, what is the value of x? Obviously, we need to separate x, so we can take it to that side. We would get 25x. We will take 28 to this side. It would be it would be 50. 50. And finally, x would be 2. So you don't have to do it this way, obviously. It's just for those who are not familiar with how to make X the subject. You are in AS, so I'm sure that you would already be knowing how to make X the subject of the equation, right? Is it so? Okay. Let's talk about cross products now. You can solve an equation that sets one fraction equal to another by finding cross products of the fractions. Finding cross products allows you to remove the denominators from each side of the equation by multiplying each side by a fraction equal to 1. Okay, let's not waste our time in reading this. Let's say you have this. You have two fractions. You need to simplify it. You can multiply D with A and you can multiply B with C. And you are seeing this cross, right? You are multiplying it this way such that a cross is being made. So this is what cross products are. To simplify this, you will simply take D to this side, it would be AD, and B to this side, this would be BC, right? And these would be cancelled. So just come directly to this part. This is what you get, and this is how you will further simplify. Okay. Let's say if you had 2 by 3 and x by 4. So cross multiplication means you'll multiply this way, that 4 will be multiplied to 2, it would be 8. And 3 would be multiplied to x, it would be 3x. So you will finally have x equals 8 by 3, right? I can't hear you.
No?
Yeah. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. अच्छा, अब एक एग्जांपल है, ठीक है, x by 6, 12 by 36, अगेन फ्रैक्शंस हैं, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन होगी, ठीक है, 36x equals 12 into 6, 36x equals 72, x would be 2, ठीक है। अब एक और क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन है। अभी यहाँ पे एक चीज नोटिस करने वाले है कि वी आर जस्ट हैविंग टू फ्रैक्शंस, ठीक है, और कुछ भी नहीं है इधर, सिर्फ दो फ्रैक्शंस हैं जिनका ऑब्वियसली न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर है, न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर है। इनको सिंप्लीफाई करने के लिए द ओनली मेथड वी हैव इज टू क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई। 16x equals 4, x plus 12, 16x equals 4x plus 48. अब ये उस साइड पे चला जाएगा, ठीक है, so 12x is 48 and this implies x is 4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's do this question now. Again, simply we'll be cross multiplying. We have 12y equals 9, y minus 7, 12y equals 9y minus 63. This would come to this side, we'll have 3y equals minus 63 and y is minus 21. So this is the answer. Okay, now this is an important thing and let's focus on this part now. Checking equations. After you solve an equation, you can check your answer by substituting your value for the variable into the original equation, right? Okay, let's see what they are saying. For example, we found that the solution for 7x minus 11 equals 29 minus 3x is x equals 4. तो basically x equals 4 जो है वो इसका solution आया था, ठीक है। अब अगर हमने चेक करना हो कि x equals 4 solution है या नहीं है, we will substitute this into this x and this x और equation की दोनों sides को balanced होना चाहिए, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे हम 4 ऐड करेंगे, 4 यहाँ पे हम प्लग इन करेंगे 28 minus 11, 17, 29 minus 12, 17. So this means कि x equals to 4 is the correct solution, right? अब ये तो बहुत एक बेसिक एग्जांपल थी, बट आगे विल डिस्कस सम क्वेश्चंस जहाँ पे हमारे पास दो बेसिकली इक्वेशंस होंगी, और उनमें से किसी एक में जब हम कोई एक वैल्यू डाल रहे होंगे, at times we get two values. Let's say we get x equals 1 and x equals -2. अब इन दोनों को जब हम उन दो इक्वेशंस में डालेंगे तो इट कुड बी कि उनमें से कोई एक वैल्यू उस इक्वेशन को सेटिस्फाई ना करी हो, एंड बाय सेटिस्फाई ना करी हो आई मीन कि वो एंड पे हमारे पास इक्वल नहीं आ रही होंगी, यहाँ पे 17 आ रहा होगा, यहाँ पे 18 आ रहा होगा, ठीक है। तो उस केस में हमारे पास वो एक वाला जो ऑप्शन है वो आंसर नहीं होगा, और हमने इस तरह का क्वेश्चन एक डिस्कस भी किया था इनिशियल क्लासेस में। अच्छा, okay, let's read this. Special tips for checking equations on the SAT, right? If time permits, check all equations, right? अब जिस तरह ऊपर वाली एग्जांपल में तो सिर्फ एक ही इक्वेशन थी, बट इट कुड बी कि आपके पास साइमल्टेनियस इक्वेशंस हो, ठीक है, दो हो, तीन हो, सिस्टम ऑफ इक्वेशंस हो आपके पास। उस केस में अब ऑब्वियसली यू नीड टू सी कि आपका टाइम कितना लग रहा है। अगर आपके पास टाइम है तो इट इज एडवाइजेबल कि आप चेक कर लें अपनी एक्सेस को पुट करके वापस इक्वेशंस में कि क्या वो सेटिस्फाई कर रही हैं कि नहीं कर रही, ठीक है। For questions that ask you to find the solution to an equation, you can simply substitute each answer choice into the equation and determine which value makes the equation correct. Begin with choice C. If C is not correct, pick an answer choice that is either larger or smaller. अच्छा, ये तो उन्होंने वैसी एक टिप दी हुई है। यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि अगर आपके पास एक इक्वेशन है और लेट्स से कि आप उसका जो x है वो फाइंड नहीं कर पा रहे, या कुछ भी है, आप टाइम कम है, व्हाटएवर इट इज, जो भी ऑप्शंस है ना आपके पास, आप उन ऑप्शंस को, लेट्स से कि ऊपर हमारे पास ये एग्जांपल थी और इस केस में हमारे पास ऑप्शन होती है कि x is 4, x is 2, x is 1, x is -1, ठीक है, a b c d। तो आप अगर तो ये टाइम कम होता है या कुछ भी होता है, सिंप्लीफाई ना कर पा रही थी, इनको डायरेक्टली पुट करनी। ये तो बहुत सिंपल इक्वेशन है ना, इसमें तो बहुत आसान था इसको सब्जेक्ट बनाना। बट अगर कुछ क्यूबिक आ जाए, कुछ स्क्वायर आ जाए, कुछ इस तरह का आ जाए, तो ये बहुत अच्छी टिप है कि डायरेक्टली वैल्यूज प्लग इन कर लो। एक्स की जगह 4 पुट करके देख लो, अगर इक्वेशन सेटिस्फाई हो रही है तो ए आंसर है, अगर नहीं हो रही तो 2 यूज करो। एंड उनकी एक टिप है कि सी से शुरू करो। दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग कि जो सी चॉइस है ना, वहां से चेक करना शुरू करो। ओके
Okay, but why C specifically?
ये बस कुछ जिस तरह पास पेपर्स होते हैं ना, तो जिस आई डोंट नो अबाउट द डिटेल्स, बट मैंने सर इमरान से पढ़ा था, तो वो लोग ना थोड़ा सा गेस करके, डू यू नो सर इमरान?
Yeah, obviously.
तो हाँ, तो वो सर जिस तरह एटीपी था उसमें उन्होंने बता दिया था, अब मुझे क्वेश्चन भूल गया, उन्होंने कहा था कि वही क्वेश्चन है, अगर वही आया था तो ये उस तरीके से उन्होंने बस एक रैंडम गेस बताया है, इसको इतना वेट लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट टिप, ठीक है।
Okay.
हाँ, तो अच्छा, श्री है, बी केयरफुल टू आंसर द क्वेश्चन दैट इज बीइंग आस्क्ड। Sometimes questions require that you solve for a variable and then perform an operation. For example, a question may ask the value of x minus 2. You might find that x equals 2 and look for an answer choice 2 exactly. Question हो सकता that you need to find x minus 2. Obviously, x minus 2 find करने के लिए पहले you'll be finding x and then you'll be subtracting it by 2, right? तो उधर से इसके टाइम की जल्दी में अगर आप x इक्वल्स टू आ गया, आप डायरेक्टली उसको टिक कर दें तो दैट इज रॉन्ग, द आंसर वुड बी 0। अगर x 2 है तो 2 minus 2 is 0, तो 0 आंसर होगा, ठीक है। बस कुछ टिप्स होती हैं, बट ये टिप बहुत अच्छी थी। ये तो इक्वेशन बहुत बेसिक थी ना, क्यूबिक इक्वेशन आ जाए या कुछ क्वाड्रेटिक आ जाए ना, वो फैक्टर्स बन रहे हो तो टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना। ओके राइट, equations with more than one variable. Some equations have more than one variable. To find the solution of these equations, solve for one variable in terms of others. follow the same method as when solving single variable equations, but isolate any one variable. Okay. 3x plus 6y equals 24. To isolate x variable, move 6y to the other side. अब this is something कि जो हमें already पता है. यहाँ पे अगर कोई नंबर होता तो हम उसको इस तरह से x को isolate करते थे, उस तरह बेशक कोई वेरिएबल भी हो. All we need to do is isolate x. तो वो यहाँ पे add हो रहा है, it would be subtracted here. ये 3 multiply हो रहा है, यहाँ पे divide हो जाएगा. ठीक है, and we would be left with this. So this is x in terms of y, right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have if 8a plus 16b is 32, what does a equal in terms of b? Okay. We need to find a in terms of b. This is our equation. Again, we have 8a equals 32. I need to take this to the other side because I have to isolate a. Minus 16b. A is 32 divided by 8 minus 16b divided by 8. Okay, so we'll be left with 4 minus 2b, and A is the answer, right? Okay, let's discuss some definitions now. So we have monomials over here. Monomial is an expression that is a number, a variable, or a product of a number and one or more variables. Okay, so 6y minus 5 xy squared, 19, a to the 6, b to the 4, all of these are monomials. Why? Because it is either a number or a variable, or it is a product of a number and one or more variables. Okay, so it is a product of a number and one or more variables. Okay, so all these are monomials. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Polynomials, this is something you must be familiar with already. A polynomial is a monomial, okay? It is a monomial. So either it is a monomial, so either it is, this is a monomial, this is a monomial, okay? Either it is a monomial or the sum or difference of two or more monomials, right? So either it is a monomial or it is sum or difference of two or more monomials. Okay, so this is one monomial, this is the second one, they are being added, so this is a polynomial, right? Again, one monomial, second, third, it is being added and then subtracted. So it is a polynomial. Okay.
Wait, ma'am, I don't understand.
Yeah, okay,
Can
sorry.
you explain the definition again?
Yes, sure. Okay. Do you understand what a monomial is?
Yeah.
Okay. It is either a number or a variable or product of a number and one or more variables. ठीक है, अब ये 6 था, number है, monomial है, y है, simple variable है, monomial है, product है number और variables का, monomial है. ठीक है. Polynomial की definition क्या है? A polynomial is a monomial. और ठीक है, पहला पार्ट क्या है कि वो मतलब कि ये सारे जो हमारे पास हैं, all of these, ये polynomials भी हैं. ठीक है, because this is what the definition says. ये polynomial है और ये monomial भी है. Or it is the sum or difference of two or more monomials. अब let's say 8x क्या है और y cube क्या है? ये monomials हैं, they are being added, they are being summed up. तो sum है two monomials का. ठीक है, it is the sum of two monomials, it is a polynomial, right? Similarly 8x 9y z, ये तीनों monomials हैं, ये add हो रहे हैं और ये subtract हो रहे हैं, तो ये basically क्या हो गया? Polynomial हो गया. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Operations with polynomials. To add polynomials, simply combine like terms. Okay. So we have two polynomials. This is first one. Then here we have second one. We need to make sure. Let's talk about what like terms are. So in both of these, y cube and y cube are like terms, then this and this, they are like terms, okay? And then we need to separate the numbers. So we'll first arrange them in such a way that y cube and y cube is together. So 5y cube, then we have y cube minus 2y plus 7y plus 1 minus 4, right? And the answer is simply because we can only add like terms together. We cannot add 5y cube minus 2y. I mean, we cannot subtract these two. Why? Because the terms are unlike. We have y cube and then we have y. So we can never ever play with unlike terms. Okay, we need to make sure that we have like terms. Only then we can add or subtract something. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
right. Let's talk about this example and be very careful with minus signs. So this is the first polynomial and then here's the second one. Step one is to open up these brackets. In the previous example, I just had a plus sign. So these brackets did not bother, right? I ignored the brackets and simply opened up directly. But here I cannot do that. I have brackets and I have this minus sign, so signs would change. I'll get minus 16x. I had plus 4y, so it would become minus 4y. And then I had minus 10z, it would be plus 10z. Okay. And then arrange the terms so that like terms are grouped together. Now, this is what I had. And obviously, 2x, 16x, x is, we have same. These are the like terms. We need to subtract them. Now, minus 5y minus 4y plus 8z plus 10z. Okay, this is how you first arrange the like terms together and then you can simplify, because obviously you cannot um, subtract 16x by 5y because the terms are different, right? So you know all this already.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So here's a quick summary. We have discussed three kinds of polynomials by now. So I repeat, a polynomial is a monomial as well. Okay. So a monomial is a polynomial with one term such as this. When it's mono, we have one term. When it's bi, we have two terms. And when it's tri, we have three terms, right? Three types of polynomials. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Okay. To multiply monomials, multiply their coefficients and multiply like variables by adding their exponents, right? Now, when we talk about multiplication, things are a bit different, right? Let's say we have these two monomials. This is the first one, and here's the second one. So, what are the coefficients? We have minus 4 and 6. So, these would be multiplied certainly. Okay, we have written them together. Now we have a cube and a square. Now a cube and a square again are unlike terms, but we can play with them in case of multiplication, right? So we will write them together. Again, b and b cube, these are unlike terms, but still we can write them together because it is multiplication. Now we have a cube into a square, and when bases are same, powers are added, 3 plus 2. So this would be a to the 5, right? So we have a to the 5 here, and this is b to the 4. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. To divide monomials, divide their coefficients and divide like variables by subtracting their exponents. Okay. So we have this again. This is the first monomial. This is the second one. We are going to play with the coefficients first. So 10 by 15. Now we need to separate x's and y's. I repeat, x to the 5 and x to the 4 can never be added or subtracted, but they can be multiplied or divided. Okay, so we have x to the 5 divided by x to the 4. Now when bases are same, we need to subtract the exponents. So x to the 5 minus 4 would be x. So we have x here, and we have y to the 7 divided by y square. So this would be y to the 7 minus 2, that is y to the 5. This is what we have. Okay, so this is how you simplify division in case of monomials. Okay. Okay. To multiply a polynomial by a monomial, multiply each term of the polynomial by the monomial and add the products. Okay. So this is, what is this?
Monomial.
Very good. And what about this one?
Trinomial.
Excellent. Okay. And they're being multiplied. So this monomial would be multiplied to each term of this polynomial. So 8x would be multiplied to 12x, then 8x would be multiplied to 3y, and then 9. And then we need to simplify. Okay, we have already discussed that 8 and 12 would be multiplied, we'll get 96, and we have x into x. So the bases are same, their powers would be added. Now we have x, y. We cannot add the powers because these are two different variables. So it would just end up as x, y, and we'll have this x here directly, right? Okay. To divide a polynomial by a monomial, divide each term of the polynomial by the monomial and add the quotients. Okay. So this is basically a polynomial and this is a monomial. And to simplify it, we will divide the 6 by each of these terms. So we'll get 6x by 6 minus 18y by 6. Okay, um, we just have to split it into 3 fractions because we just have a monomial in the denominator. And we are just talking about one fraction at the moment. Okay, so we can split it like this. So x and x can be cancelled, we'll get x. 6 and 18 can be cancelled, we'll get minus 3y. And 6 and 42 can be cancelled, we'll get 7, right? Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so you can take a break for 10 minutes. I'll fix this and then we can start our class, okay?
10:50.
Yeah, 10:55 maybe, yeah.